Negotiation be covered, because the eyes of the world, and particularly the eyes of labor, are upon us. What happens here is important, because what's happening to us is happening across all fields of labor by means of when employers make Wall Street and greed their priority, and they forget about the essential contributors that make the machine run. We have a problem, and we are experiencing that right at this moment. This is a very seminal hour for us. I went in earnest, thinking that we would be able to avert a strike. The gravity of this move is not lost on me or our negotiating committee or our board members who have voted unanimously to proceed with a strike. It's a very serious thing that impacts thousands, if not millions, of people all across this country and around the world. Not only members of this union, but people who work in other industries that service the people that work in this industry. And so it came with great sadness that we came to this crossroads, but we had no choice. We are the victims here. We are being victimized by a very greedy entity. I am shocked by the way the people that we have been in business with are treating us. I cannot believe it, quite frankly. How far apart we are on so many things. How they plead poverty, that they're losing money left and right when giving hundreds of millions of dollars to their CEOs. It is disgusting. Shame on them. They stand on the wrong side of history at this very moment. We stand in solidarity, in unprecedented unity. Our union and our sister unions and the unions around the world.
Hey, what's up, everybody? OneMicNite artists. Welcome back to another episode of OneMicNite, the podcast that brings you stories of artists and people on their journey, helping to guide, answer questions, and motivate you in life and the business. Today, I want to let you know what's going on in the world of theater and film and writers, because we're talking about the writer strike that's going on, along with the SAG-AFTRA strike, along with the Writers Guild. And I want to let you know what happened in the last couple of days as far as theater goes. So the Broadway League reaches a tentative deal agreement with the union's workers to avoid a strike. Now, with a possible strike averted, Broadway theaters were forced to leave their ghost lights on for now. A temporary agreement has been reached. The International Alliance of Theatrical Stage Employees, which is also known as the IATSE, which is a union that represents stage employees, 1,000 pink contract co-workers integral to the stage production, began voting to authorize a strike on Wednesday, July 19th, 2023. So one day later, a temporary agreement was reached with the management organizations that the Broadway Leagues and Disney Theatrical. Now, what happens is the respective parties will inform their members of the details of this agreement in the coming days. To read a joint statement from the opposing groups, which happened yesterday on Thursday, July 20th. Now, the further information regarding the negotiation, which will be released today and tomorrow in the upcoming days, which will the IATSE members will subsequently vote and ratify the new contract. Now, if the union rejects the proposed contract, a strike could once again begin. So currently, they agreed to a temporary decision. So they voted to agree with, both parties agreed for now for a temporary decision. In the 11th hour, the agreement was reached. The management previously given a deadline of Friday, which is today, the day that I'm broadcasting, July 21st, to bring an offer to the table. The IATSE members are currently employed at 45 shows across the country. Now, 28 of those shows are New York-centered Broadway shows, which includes a lot of people. It includes stagehands, makeup artists, hairstylists, wardrobe personnel, and they're all represented under the pink contract. Now, these are the people who take care and they manage the backstage part of the shows, which is vital to Broadway in general and all the shows in general, because without the makeup, without the wardrobe, without the hair people, you don't have a show. So all these people are under the pink contract. So if these people who run the shows aren't there, there's no show. Now, a strike would have forced the shows to shut down nearly all of the Broadway shows, including all of your favorites like Hamilton, Wicked, Hadestown, The Book of Mormons, and 17 national tour productions would have been impacted. The Screen Actors Guild, American Federation of Television and Radio Artists, SAG-AFTRA, went on strike on July 14, 2023, after failing to reach an agreement with the Alliance of Motion Picture and Television Producers, the AMPTP, on a new contract. The strike has had such a significant impact on the entertainment industry, halting production on many films and television shows. The main issues at stake are the strike of residuals, data transparency, and the use of artificial intelligence, AI, in the entertainment industry. SAG-AFTRA is seeking higher residuals for streaming projects, as well as more for transparency into how data is collected and used by studios. The union is also concerned about the potential for AI to replace actors in the future, and is seeking guarantees that AI will not be used to exploit actors. AMPTP has offered some concessions, but SAG-AFTRA has said that the offers are not enough. The union is demanding a significant increase in residuals and is also seeking to the limit to use AI for the entertainment industry. The strike is now in its third week, and there is no sign of resolution yet. It is unclear how long the strike will last, but it is having a significant impact on the entertainment industry. Loeb emphasized that it is clear as day who our allies are. As entertainment workers stand up for their rights, we stand shoulder to shoulder with our SAG-AFTRA Writers Guild kin, he noted. The fight today foreshadows our fight for tomorrow, and we must stand united until studios acknowledge our collective worth and the workers prevail. So the bottom line is we as actors, as creators in this union are fighting for our rights, for our increased wages, for the rights to our content. And if put in syndication, we're still owed residuals for that right. We are also fighting for controlled use of AI, the artificial intelligence, which is now taking over the industry and taking over the world to reproduce. For instance, if you are an actor, studios now can make AI-generated people to do the background work or to change voices or to use voices, and how actors get paid to create the work and to have their likenesses or have other workers used in film production, TV commercials, et cetera, limited? And what are the guidelines? So this is what we're all fighting for. AI is also generating work in terms of writers. And all of you know, and all of you who are now using AI to generate works or to generate emails, or if you haven't even started doing that yet, it's now a possibility that artificial intelligence is now creating work. It's now creating content. It's now helping businesses thrive at a super speed. But in terms of actors and in terms of what we're doing in SAG-AFTRA as a union, which I'm a part of, we need to control how we're getting paid and what the limitations for artificial intelligence is for us. Otherwise, as I mentioned before, a lot of people will be out of work. The actors will be out of work, the hairstylists, the makeup artists, wardrobe, all of those things that are craft services, even the businesses in the studios as we strike now are being put out of work. Studios are out of work. The businesses where we film, locations where we would possibly film are not generating money. So this $2 billion industry of Hollywood has now been disrupted. You can't go see new movies. You can't see new television, you know, if you're a consumer of these things. So we're fighting for our rights and our monies that are owed. So for instance, what happens is if I'm in a commercial and I run in a commercial, I'm paid residuals for every time the commercial runs, if you're part of the union. If you are non-union, they can do what's called a buyout. So they buy out the commercial, they pay you one set fee, and they're allowed to run it as much as possible. However, most of these, well, all of these TV shows that are on are union protected shows, which allows you, let me break that down for you a little bit too. What it does for the person in the union is that it provides you with certain rights within, meaning when you're on location, they have, the studios or the people filming have to provide you with certain guidelines. So say, for instance, you get a 15-minute break every 5 hours or 3 hours. You're paid a certain rate for your likeness being on screen or your time per 8 hours. If they go over the time, they have to pay a penalty. So you get additional money. They have to, you know, after a certain amount of time working, just like any job, you get health insurance and all those things. So it's protected. It's protection for the person who is in the union. There's a union rep that comes by each job site to make sure everything's going accordingly. If you have any gripes, if you see any violations, there has to be a restroom within a certain, you know, footage of where you're filming. You have to have access to all those things. There has to be break for food, all those things. So that's what the union does for you. So we as union members, we're thankful to help, you know, have our rights protected by SAG-AFTRA, as well as Actors Equity, which protects the stage, which I'm a member of as well. So we'll see what happens in the future. These things are important to the workers. And it's also important because a small percentage of the people are the ones who are benefiting, such as the studios, such as the executives who are making, you know, millions and millions of dollars, where the actors are not making that. A small percentage of the actors, you know, you have of course, the A-list actors who are making a huge amount of money, but the majority of the people, the majority of the actors and wardrobe stylists and so forth are not making that money. So we need to stay within the guidelines of what it provides us with. So that's it. That is what's going on in the world of acting and theater and film. So I want to thank you for joining me for this short episode. Stay tuned. Make sure you click the bell because, as I said, I'll be dropping episodes soon. Also, make sure you like the episode, share the episodes. I want to thank you guys all for being on the journey with me. If you like the episodes and you like the content that I bring you, you can also support the episode. There'll be a link down on the bottom. If you'd like a subscription, the subscription link is there, or you can be a little generous and throw a little money my way, because it takes a lot to make these episodes and keep the episodes going and hopefully bringing you some content and some value and some knowledge in different ways. Look out for more interviews. Take a look at the store down below. Our store has items for elements of living. It's called AzulesEn. You can also find the new OneMicNite logo, I Am Art t-shirts, mugs, water bottles, etc. Grab yourself one of those. They're now available on the AzulesEn store. Thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time on OneMicNite. I'm Marcos Luis. DM me, MarcosLuis, and find the episode at OneMicNite on all platforms. OneMicNite, OneMicNite.